Hey guys, the Super Review Show for another My Thoughts on video. This is my thoughts on best soundtrack versus best film score. Now, there's a couple of different things here. Number one, most movies have a great soundtrack, like, Back to the Future. I'm going to just bring up an example. Back to the Future has The Power of Love, which was the hit song in the movie, and it's a song in a movie. But it also has a score in the movie. A film like Guardians of the Galaxy from Marvel has a great soundtrack to it that was beloved, brought back all these artists that were had no future whatsoever with streaming, brought them back to the forefront. I still listen to Hooked on a Feeling to this day. Or Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters as an example, they had a song in the movie, but the score was more dominant than the actual song. You know what I mean? It's hard to. It's really a unique situation with this, Drew, between best soundtrack versus film score. Or I shouldn't say best, but soundtrack versus film score. What defines a movie? I ultimately think it's up to the filmmaker in general. I mean, if you really think about it, most movies, the three examples that I brought up, Guardians of the Galaxy, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters. These are three of the most iconic movies of the past 30, 40 years. Ghostbusters is especially, Back to the Future especially, and more recently, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies with their soundtrack. They use music to tell the story a little bit more, in more ways than one. Like Back to the Future has The Power of Love and other songs like Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good in the movie. Whereas, you have Guardians of the Galaxy, which it's funny. The first one was the songs are in the movie and he's dancing to them, whatever. That's incorporated into the film itself. Whereas the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie actually had, it said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the actual description of the movie said set to the backdrop of the Volume 2 soundtrack. It just said that. Sure enough, it's like, oh my God. The music was more incorporated into the movie than it was in the first one, which I liked it overall. I mean, I live in the past, whatever. I listen to that kind of music in general. But it's interesting to see how you had, the soundtrack helped out the movie, but it evolved over those three films. Back to the Future is the same thing. The Power of Love and was really only the first one, and the second one didn't really have any other songs in it. It just had the score in it, And Ghostbusters, same thing. The song was a part of the movie, and the movie had a film score to it. So comparing soundtrack to film score, I think there are a lot of movies, like I just mentioned, have great soundtracks, but the film score is kind of forgotten. Whereas if you have a film like Schindler's List or Forrest Gump falls in the category of both. But I think as far as best score goes, I would say films like The Avengers, or Schindler's List, The Avengers, stuff like that. Star Wars is another one where the score amplifies the movie, and there's no other songs. Harry Potter, another one. There's no actual songs of there's no artist singing a song, whereas the music tells the story, the narrative throughout the movie too, which is really great overall. So it depends which is better in my opinion. I think I love both. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love when a movie just tells a story perfectly. Like I said, The Avengers. I said Harry Potter. I said Star Wars. Those are movies without many songs in the movie, or barely any in general. There's no songs, but there's a film score to them. Those I think are great examples of how films and scores can work so cohesively together perfectly. Schindler's List, another one. But films like Forrest Gump, Guardians of the Galaxy, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, these are movies where the soundtrack amplifies the movie and the score is put into it as well. Like Robert Zemeckis and Forrest Gump. I mean, the soundtrack is almost as iconic as the movie. And back to Guardians of the Galaxy is the same way. The movie is iconic because of the soundtrack and the score, both to put together. So it depends on which way you could go. My personal preference is both. If there's a movie coming out and I love the trailer, and I go see the movie, and then there's a ton of great songs in the movie or great score in the movie, I'm going with whatever. I'm a film fan. I love going to the movies in general, and I think that this is actually a really good thing, truthfully, about. This could be a total. This could be a mixed bag topic, but I'm just saying my thoughts. I think that this could be a successful. I don't know. It's having a film soundtrack and having a score, two separate things, but in some examples they work together. Some examples they don't, And I think it depends on what your taste in movies are. Like, I'm sure there's some movies that have like no music in them, like no songs, but the score is incredible. Like Schindler's List, another one. You know what I mean? Whereas a movie like Forrest Gump is much more heavily driven on the songs that are part of the movie. So it depends on you can go either way about it. But what do you think out there? Please jump down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say out there. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to follow us on our social media page as well, simply at The Super Review Show. But for all of your my thoughts and videos, keep it locked on The Super Review Show. The J-Man is off to rock. See you guys later.